Why can't we get by in this country anymore just working one fucking job?
Being poor is hard, but being middle class, that's a special kind of hell nobody talks about.
You used to be able to work one job and make it. Now it feels like one job barely pays for gas and groceries.
Used to say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. My heart's gifts got me by.
If you have a full-time job and you still feel broke and your bank account seems to not be going anywhere, this video is for you. Because in 2026, a paycheck doesn't mean security or stability anymore. It just means that you're surviving slightly slower than you used to. For most of modern American history, the deal was simple for us. Get a job, work hard, live a stable middle-class life, right? Not rich, not glamorous, but you know, we were stable, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, especially in 2026, that deal is falling apart. You could do everything right. Degree, full-time job, no major luxuries, right? And still feel like you're one bad month away from chaos. Like there's people out here that have been working all their lives. They don't drink, they don't do drugs, and they're in debt, right? They drive like a 20-year-old car. You know what I'm saying? Like they're following the book, but they're getting the worst of it all. Like, how's that even possible? Now, on paper, the middle class still does exist, but in real life, the math isn't working anymore. It seems like the wealth gap has just split to a point to where it's either you're rich or you're poor. Let's say you're making a decent salary, right? Nothing crazy, just like, let's just say normal salary nowadays. Let's subtract rent, groceries, health insurance, car payment, gas, utilities, internet, phone, maybe student loans, maybe childcare if you have a kid. By the time you're done subtracting, bro, what's left it's not disposable income. At that point, it's just anxiety. This is why so many people say, I'm not poor, but I'm not okay. Some of them are able to pay their bills, but there's nothing there afterwards. Like after you pay your bills, you probably have $30 left. You can't do anything with that. And the problem isn't that people suddenly forgot how to budget. I truly don't think people forgot how to budget, but I do think that the cost of basic life has quietly exploded throughout these last couple of years. Rent didn't just go up, it reset to a higher floor. Groceries didn't just get expensive. The shrinkflation made you pay more for less. Like if you go fill a bag of chips nowadays, it's not even halfway anymore, yet you're paying like $4 for it. It's honestly criminal. We're running faster, yet we're still in the same place. We are working harder than we ever have before, yet we're not getting ahead. And this will do something to your brain. This will have you thinking like crazy. You'll start questioning yourself, why am I still stressed if I have a job? Why can't I save money? Why does everyone online look like they're doing better than me? Why are drug dealers and OF models out here eating steak and lobster while I'm over here doing everything by the book and I'm eating ramen noodles? The gap between how life is supposed to feel and how it actually feels creates a constant low-level pressure. Not dramatic failure, just chronic financial unease. So if this is you guys, if you're working, trying, budgeting, and being responsible, yet you're still ain't getting nowhere, that's not personal failure. That's a system changing faster than people's expectations of it. You were taught one version of the game as a kid. The rules have changed, guys, and no one updated the instructions. The question isn't, why do people feel poor in 2026? No, that's not the question. The real question is, how long can a society function when having a job no longer feels like progress? Just maintenance.
Can we deep the reality here? One job is not enough anymore to have a, let's say, stable, but even more like not even a luxury, but just a better life. It's not enough. One job is not enough in today's economy in the UK, yeah? Because I did a poll the other day on my Snapchat, so I'm going to tag it somewhere here in my Snapchat, yeah? Add it, because I do these daily questions and stuff and get the people's opinions on it. And one of the topics was about relationships. You know, how should it be? Should the woman contribute 50-50? And basically, a lot of people said in today's society. So a lot of people would say a 50-50 yes, but they were saying the reason being because of how expensive the UK has become. So realistically, people are now working 9 to 5s, then working 5 till 9s, Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, like they're doing 5 to 7 days a week. And it's not just one person, both of the people are doing it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the UK is just getting more difficult. Inflation used to be an excuse for putting prices up. Let me know if I'm not wrong here, because I feel like certain prices are not even justified, but they use inflation to justify it.
The pressures of being a school-aged mom in this economy are absolutely ridiculous. So we just got notes from the school saying that next week is Muffins with Mom, which is great. Love that they have an activity for parents to be involved with their kids at school, but that's an additional cost for breakfast. Then the next week is Valentine's Day parties. I have a kindergartner and a second grader, so both of them will have Valentine's Day parties. And each class has, 25 or 26 kids, and everything comes in packs of 12 or 24. So in order to get enough for the whole class, I have to buy 3 of whatever we're buying. And then I found out that school is actually closed on the 13th, when you would assume they would have a Valentine's Day party. So they're going to have it on the 12th. Well, when my kid's school is out, I still have to go to work. So my kids go to daycare. So that means on the 13th, they will have daycare parties. So now I have to buy Valentine's Day cards and snacks for those parties as well. And to top it off, my kids are in sports and activities, so we are constantly paying for things. And I understand, being a parent, it is my responsibility to pay for my children's things. But when we're doing one thing after another, after another, after another at school, it's really hard to keep up in this economy.
In today's society, working a job is not enough, bro. Working a job right now is equivalent to being homeless 30 years ago, bro. If you only work one job, I guarantee you are still gonna be broke, bro. And that's why I'm starting a side hustle, bro. I'm gonna be doing side hustles until I'm rich, bro. And right now, I'm starting off with Facebook Marketplace, bro. I'm gonna be buying stuff, getting free stuff off Facebook Marketplace, and then I'm gonna be selling it, bro. I'm gonna be selling it for a profit, and that's how I'm gonna start it, bro. And look, if you know any side hustles, hit me up, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna post it on this account.
1976 was 50 years ago, and over the past 50 years, the middle-class American was left behind, and I want to show you some numbers. Right off the rip, minimum wage adjusted for inflation took a 46% pay cut. The typical wage worker in cash adjusted for inflation only had a 15% increase. Now, if you add in benefits, 33%, little better, but up against productivity, 88%. Why didn't wages go up more if productivity went up 88%? What about GDP per capita? 160%. Again, why didn't wages go up more? And then you look at products like a brand new car, up 59%, a house, up 58%, rent, only 20%, not too shabby, tuition, 240%. My point is this: when productivity went up and GDP per capita went up, did wages go up appropriately? No. What do you think is going to happen in the next 10 to 20 years when AI and robotics are taking over our entire country and making us super productive and our GDP per capita go through the roof? All of that is good for America if you shared with Americans. And the past 50 years shows they don't share appropriately. So we have to come together and we have to figure something out. If you want to learn more about this, I actually have a book coming out July 14th. You can pre-order it now. It's called Generation Fucked: How the Millennials and Gen Zs Were Robbed of the American Dream and How We Can Fix Our Futures. I go through so many different policies and solutions. So if you're interested in that, I've got it in my link tree, my profile. But we need to stick together and figure out how to make a change in this country so we can all enjoy ourselves.
Please don't say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
I've been there. I've been there. That nigga had negative dollars. You ever had negative dollars, nigga?
The hard truth that not a lot of people want to talk about right now is that in this here economy, the middle class no longer holds the weight that it used to. So they look good on paper, right? They look stable on paper because they got the good job, they got the homes, they got the benefits. But in real life, they are literally one emergency away from financial chaos. And it's not because they're irresponsible with their money, y'all, but it's because a lot of the middle class was built on debt, not stability. So what happens if there's a medical emergency? What happens if someone loses their job? I can tell you from seeing it firsthand, there is a lot of panic. And that is exactly why I teach people how to build financial stability, because lifestyle, that can be very misleading. Links in the bio.
Good news, 59% of Gen Z has a side hustle. Also known as 59% of Gen Z cannot survive with one job alone. Also known as 59% of Gen Z's employers do not pay them a livable wage. But on the bright side, perchance, all the jobs that do pay a livable wage are either 8 hours every day of being exposed to forever cancer chemicals until you die, or staring at an Excel spreadsheet until you die. But you say, perchance, I forgot about retirement, perchance. Well, 67 is when you can retire with full benefits. 78 is the average life expectancy in America. And this is good because you spend over 50 years of your life working to possibly enjoy 11 years of your life not working, if you're not bedridden, perchance, or on life support, perchance. And this is a brilliant system because perchance you are probably forgetting about perchance the fact that
Being poor is hard, but being middle class, that's a special kind of hell nobody talks about. You're not poor enough for assistance, but you're not rich enough for freedom. The poor gets food stamps, housing vouchers, and tax breaks. The rich, they get loopholes, lawyers, and passive income. But the middle class, we get stuck with the bill. We pay full price for everything, and when we can't keep up, they blame us and tell us to budget better. They got us working 60 hours a week, can't afford healthcare, can't afford daycare, and God forbid you make $2 over the income limit, then boom, all your benefits vanish. So they punish you for trying to do better. Middle class isn't the American dream. It's a fucking treadmill. You run, you sweat, you grind, but you never actually move forward. And every year they crank up the speed just to watch you fall.
Why can't we get by in this country anymore just working one fucking job like our parents and grandparents did? But when did survival become a group project? Everybody's so quick to yell, just work harder, grind more, pick a side hustle. But the real question is, why the hell should we have to? Why is one full-time job no longer enough to afford food, rent, and peace of mind? Why are we working 50, 60 hours a week away from our families and, still checking our bank apps like we committed a crime? Why is owning a home now treated like some luxury fantasy instead of the bare minimum of our parents achieved with a high school diploma and a single paycheck? Why are people forced to DoorDash after 10-hour shifts just to afford eggs, gas, and maybe prescription medicine, maybe even diapers? Why do people celebrate people working for themselves into exhaustion, but shame them for admitting they're struggling? Why do we keep pretending this is normal? You shouldn't need a second job to just keep your head above water. You shouldn't have to burn out just to barely get by. Why is everything rising except our wages? This isn't laziness. This isn't lack of ambition. I mean, this is like a system designed to drain you and convince you that it's your fault. I mean, it's not your fault. You're not behind. We're being buried alive and then told to be grateful for the dirt.
You used to be able to work one job and make it. Now it feels like one job barely pays for gas and groceries. Two jobs just keeps you afloat. And everyone acts like just work harder is still good advice. How are people not more mad about this?